In a Chicago alley where damp brick reeks of rot, Nia Coleman, 70, shivers under a tattered coat. Her frail hands clutch Missy, her loyal dog, whose warmth fights the wind's sting. Nia's fingers trace a faded photo of her younger self, Viper, a fierce black pilot saluting beside her plane. The alley's hush is her refuge, broken only by her murmur to Missy. "We're still soaring, girl." Her military badge pinned inside her coat is her last link to a life of honor. But a shadow looms. Officer Daniels' eyes cold with spite stalks through the gloom. "You're no hero," he sneers, ripping her badge away. His boots echo as he vanishes, leaving Nia clutching the photo, her heart fractured. The alley's silence turns heavy, a storm brewing in its depths. Something cruel is coming, and Nia feels its weight. Nia was Viper, a trailblazing black female pilot whose name echoed through bases. In a fiery 1980s mission, she saved General Marcus Tate, dragging him from a burning chopper as shrapnel tore her skin. Her military badge, hard-won through slurs and sabotage, was her shield against a world that doubted her. A crash ended her career, leaving PTSD to haunt her with flashes of flames. The VA offered no help, and the streets swallowed her. The alley became her haven, where Missy's warmth dulled the pain. But Daniels' theft of her badge, a cruel echo of old taunts, rips open every scar. Nia strokes Missy, her voice steady. "They can't erase me." In her pocket, a crumpled letter to Tate never mailed pulses with purpose. Peace tempts her, but silence feels like surrender. She clenches the photo of Viper, eyes fierce. "I'm done hiding," she whispers. The alley's shadows no longer shield her, they challenge her to rise. The alley glows gray under dawn's weak light, its damp bricks slick with frost. Nia stands, her frail frame dwarfed by the towering walls, Missy's scruffy fur brushing her leg. Her tattered coat hangs heavy, but her eyes burn with Viper's fire. Daniel's theft of her badge has cracked her silence. She grips the crumpled letter to General Tate, its edges worn from years, in her pocket, and whispers to Missy, "We're taking it back." Her hoarse voice cuts the stillness. "Daniels, return my badge." The words echo bold but brittle, swallowed by the alley's chill. Footsteps crunch. Officer Daniels saunters in his bulk, filling the narrow space badge gleaming on his chest like a taunt. Officer Reed, younger and leaner, trails him, his eyes darting nervously. Their radios crackle, a reminder of the system backing them. Daniels' lips curl into a smirk. "Delusional old hag," he says, voice dripping with scorn. "You're no pilot, just a street rat." The words sting, echoing the slurs Nia faced in the cockpit. She straightens, clutching her faded pilot photo, its creases sharp under her thumb. "I'm Captain Nia Coleman," she says, voice steady despite her trembling hands. "I flew F-16s, saved lives. General Tate owes me his." She recounts her mission's dogfights over desserts, the chopper rescue flames searing her skin. Her words paint the alley with memories, each one a defiance of Daniels' sneer. Reed shifts his gaze, flickering to the ground, but Daniel steps closer, his shadow swallowing Nia's frail form. Fairy tales he spits, snatching the photo from her hand. He flicks it into the mud where it lands beside a rotting crate. The badge still in his pocket clinks faintly as he moves. "You're nothing," Missy growls, baring her teeth, but Daniels laughs, kicking a pebble that skitters past Nia's feet. The alley feels smaller, its walls a cage. Nia's PTSD stirs each of Daniel's steps, a distant explosion, each sneer a superior's dismissal. She forces her breathing to slow, focusing on Missy's warmth. Reed clears his throat, glancing at Daniels. "Maybe we should," he starts, but Daniels cuts him off. "She's a liar, Reed. Don't go soft." He leans into Nia's face, breath sour with coffee. "Stay down or you're done. No one cares about a homeless fraud." The threat lands like a blade, sharp and cold. Nia's heart pounds, but she meets his gaze, her brown eyes unyielding. "You don't scare, Viper," she says, voice low but fierce. She bends, retrieving the muddy photo, her fingers trembling as she wipes it clean. The act is small but defiant, a spark in the gloom. Daniel snorts, turning to leave, but pauses at the alley's mouth. "Keep barking, old woman," he calls over his shoulder. "Next time I won't be so nice." Reed hesitates, then follows his boots, splashing through a puddle. The alley falls silent, save for Missy's soft whine. Nia sinks against the wall, the photo pressed to her chest. Her body aches, her cough worse in the cold, but her resolve hardens. The badge is hers, her proof, her honor. Daniels and Reed are Goliath, backed by badges and a system that buries people like her. She's outmatched a single ember against a storm, but the letter to Tate burns in her pocket. "We're not done, Missy," she whispers, stroking the dog's matted fur. The alley, once her refuge, is now her battlefield, and Viper's wings are stirring. She tucks the letter deeper. its words a lifeline. Tate might remember her, might listen. The odds are grim. 2 armed officers, a city that's forgotten her, a body worn thin by years and neglect. But Nia's fought worse odds in the sky. She closes her eyes, seeing the cockpit, the horizon tilting, her hands steady on the stick. Daniel's threat lingers, a dark promise of worse to come. He'll escalate, she knows, more than words, more than theft. The alley's shadows hold no answers, only the weight of what's next. Nia rises, Missy at her heels, her whisper fierce, "I'm still Viper." The fight has begun and there's no turning back. The alley's damp chill seeps deeper into Nia's bones, but her resolve holds. Word of her stand against Daniels spreads through Chicago's streets like smoke. Whispers turn venomous, crazy woman in the alley claiming she's a hero. A tabloid fed by Daniels' precinct splashes Nia's face across its front page, the headline screaming, "Fake hero." The grainy photo snapped. During her confrontation shows her frail frame dwarfed by Daniels' bulk, her eyes fierce but weary. Passers-by sneer as they toss the paper into puddles, some hurling cigarette butts at her corner. Fraud, a man shouts, his voice swallowed by the city's din. Nia clutches Missy, her anchor, as the alley, once her sanctuary, morphs into a gauntlet. Her PTSD surges, each jeer is a cockpit alarm, each shadow, a licking flame from that long-ago crash. At night she wakes gasping, the alley's walls closing in like a burning chopper. Missy's nudge steadies her, but the weight grows. One dawn, Nia finds her blanket slashed, its frayed edges fluttering in the wind. Her pilot photo pinned to the wall is defaced with "liar" scrawled in red ink across her younger self's salute. A note tucked into the crate she uses as a table reads, "Stay quiet or you lose more than a badge." The handwriting is sharp. Deliberate Daniels' work, she's sure. Her hands shake as she smooths the photo, whispering to Missy, "They won't break us." But the alley hums with menace, its shadows, hiding eyes that watch her every move. The neighborhood turns colder. A bodega owner, once kind, now averts his gaze when Nia passes. Kids who tossed Missy scraps now cross the street, giggling at the crazy lady. Even the stray cats avoid her corner. Nia's cough worsens, each hack a knife in her chest, but the VA clinic's wait list stretches months. She's alone, save for Missy's loyal warmth. The letter to Tate remains in her pocket, its words a faint hope, but the post office feels a world away. Daniels cruises by in his squad car, his smirk visible through the window, her stolen badge glinting on his dashboard. The sight twists her gut. He's not done his threats or promises, and the tabloid's lies are his weapon. One evening, a group of teens lingers at the alley's mouth, their laughter sharp. "Hey, Viper!" One mocks, tossing an empty soda can that clatters near Missy. Nia stands, her voice hoarse but firm. "I flew for this country. Show respect." The teens snicker, but one, a girl with braided hair, pauses, her eyes flickering with doubt before she's pulled away. The moment is fleeting, but it's a crack in the wall of scorn. Nia pins the defaced photo back up, its red liar a badge of its own. She's losing ground, her health, her safety, her place in the world, but Viper's fire still burns. The alley's threats grow bolder. One-night footsteps echo after midnight, too heavy for strays. Nia grips a broken pipe. Missy growling low, but the steps fade. The note's warning, you lose more loops in her mind. Her badge is gone, her photo marred, her blanket ruined. What's next? Missy. Her life, Daniels' power backed by his badge, and the tabloid's reach feels unbreakable. Nia's defiance is a lone spark in a storm, but she clings to it. She strokes Missy, murmuring, "We're still here, girl." The alley is no longer home, it's a trap, and she's cornered. Yet Nia refuses to break. She traces the letter's edges. Tate's name a beacon. If she can reach him, her truth might surface. The odds are brutal. Daniels' lies spread faster than her voice, and the city's apathy buries her deeper. But she's faced worse in the ski. Outgunned, but never outfought. The alley's walls bear her scars, but they also hold her stand. Viper doesn't quit. She tells Missy, her voice a vow. This fight is bigger than one woman. Share Nia's story. Subscribe to follow her battle, comment to lift her voice, and join the call for justice. Every share chips away at the lies bearing her truth. Will you stand with Viper? The alley's shadows deepen as dust settles the air, thick with the threat of rain. Nia huddles with Missy, her cough rattling harder, the defaced pilot photo pinned defiantly to the wall. The tabloid's lies and Daniel's note, you lose more gnaw at her, but Viper's fire holds. She traces the letter to Tate, its words her last hope. The city's scorn has isolated her, but she whispers to Missy, "We're still flying." Then chaos erupts. A viral video leaked by Daniels' precinct floods social media. The doctored body cam footage twists Nia's confrontation, painting her as the aggressor. Her hoarse shout clipped to sound like a snarl, her trembling hand edited to look like a raised fist. The tabloid amplifies it, its headline blaring, "Homeless fraud attacks cop?" Shares skyrocket and the alley becomes a target. Teens swarm at midnight, their phones glowing as they chant, "Fraud, fraud." They hurl bottles, one shattering near Missy, who yelps and bolts into the dark. Nia stumbles after her, calling Missy until her voice cracks. Her PTSD surges, each crash a missile strike, each shout a burning cockpit. The alley spins her vision, blurring with flames that aren't there. She searches barefoot in the cold, her coat snagging on jagged bricks. The teens scatter, their laughter fading, but Daniels cruises by, her stolen badge dangling from his rearview mirror, his smirk a silent taunt. Nia's heart sinks. Missy's gone, her one anchor lost. The video's lies spread faster than her truth, shared by strangers who don't know Viper. Her cough chokes her legs buckling, but she keeps calling, her voice a raw plea. The alley, now a war zone, offers no mercy. Hours later, a neighbor, Ms. Rosa, finds Missy cowering behind a dumpster 2 blocks away. She returns the shivering dog, her eyes soft with pity. "Saw that video," Rosa says. "It's not right." Nia clutches Missy, tears mixing with rain on her face, but Rosa's kindness is a faint light. The damage is done. The video has branded Nia a villain, her story buried under clicks and shares. Daniels and Reed return at dawn, their boots splashing through puddles. "Told you to stay quiet," Daniels sneers, tossing a crumpled tabloid at her feet. "Next time it's not just your mutt." Reed shifts silent, but complicit, his eyes avoiding Nia's. The alley's walls close and the note's threat now real. Nia's health frays, her cough relentless, her body worn. The letter to Tate feels heavier, its hope dimming. The city believes the video, not her. Social media hums with comments, "Lock her up, fake hero." A few defend her, citing her pilot photo, but they're drowned out. Nia sinks against the wall, Missy's warmth, her only shield. Her PTSD paints the alley in flashes. Wreckage screams the chopper's heat. She grips the photo, its red liar a scar, and murmurs, "I'm still Viper," but the words feel hollow, her spark flickering. Daniel's plan seems unstoppable. The video, the tabloid, the precincts wait, they've cornered her. Losing Missy even briefly was a warning shot. Nia knows what's next, her safety, her life. The system that failed her at the VA now fuels Daniel's vendetta, and the city's apathy is his ally. She's outmatched a single voice against a digital mob. The letter to Tate is her last card, but reaching him feels impossible. The post office is blocks away and her strength is fading. The alley, once her refuge, is a trap, its shadows hiding Daniel's next move. Yet Nia clings to defiance. She smooths Missy's fur, her whisper fierce. "They can't erase us. The video's lies are a blade, but Viper's fought through worse." She tucks the letter deeper, Tate's name a faint pulse. The situation feels irreversible. Her name ruined her dog, nearly lost her body breaking. But Nia's flown through storms before, outgunned but never broken. The alley's damp bricks bear her pain but also her stand. She rises, Missy at her heels, her eyes burning. Daniels thinks he's won, but Viper's wings aren't clipped yet. Dusk cloaks the Chicago alley in gray, the air heavy with the scent of rain-soaked brick. Nia sits, Missy curled at her side, the doctored video's lies still burning in her mind. Her cough rattles, her body frail, but the letter to Tate, mailed with Rosa's help, is a spark of hope. The alley feels like a trap, Daniel's threats echoing. Then engines roar. Armored vehicles screech to a halt at the alley's mouth, their headlights slicing the gloom. A squad of soldiers in tactical gear rifles slung steps out, their boots crisp on the pavement. General Marcus Tate, silver-haired and steely, leaps from a black SUV, his presence commanding. A crowd gathers, locals, the braided hair teen, a skeptical veteran drawn by Nia's earlier defiance. Daniels and Reed, patrolling nearby, freeze as Tate strides forward. "Captain Nia Coleman," he booms, kneeling to salute her. "You saved my life in '80. Viper never faltered. His voice carries, recounting her chopper rescue shrapnel tearing her skin as she pulled him from flames. He holds up a yellowed mission report, its details matching Nia's story. The soldiers form a silent wall, their eyes on Daniels, who grips her stolen badge, his smirk gone. Reed shifts, shame flickering in his gaze. Nia stands gripping her defaced pilot photo, its liar, now a badge of endurance. "I'm still Viper," she says, voice hoarse but firm, Missy growling at her side. Tate's salute shatters the tabloid's lies, his words a lifeline. The crowd murmurs some cheer, others whisper doubts, but the soldier's presence quiets hecklers. Daniel steps forward, sneering. "She's a fraud." Tate's eyes narrow. "I owe her my life." "You owe her respect." He demands the badge. Daniels hesitates, his jaw tight, then extends both hands, offering the badge stiffly, his eyes cold with defiance. Tate takes it, pinning it to Nia's coat with reverence. This belongs to a hero. The teen's video streams live, spreading faster than Daniel's lies. Comments shift. She's real Viper's a legend. The public begins to care, hashtags like Justice for Viper trending. Rosa shares the stream, her caption, "Fierce truth wins." The soldiers stand firm, a shield against Daniel's glare. Nia's PTSD eases Tate's voice, drowning out the flames in her mind. She clutches Missy, her spark reigniting. The alley, once a cage, now feels like a stage. But the victory is fragile. Daniels retreats, his eyes promising retaliation. Reed follows, head low, his silence a crack in their front. The crowd thins, some still skeptical, clinging to the tabloid's narrative. Tate vows to push the VA for Nia's care, but bureaucracy looms. Nia's health falters, the cold sinking deeper. Yet Tate's stand is a turning point. The truth buried for years is surfacing, carried by strangers' shares in the teen's shaky footage. A young boy hands Nia a clean blanket, his mother nodding. The alley pulses with possibility. As Tate's convoy prepares to leave, he grips Nia's hand. "You're not alone, Viper." The soldiers salute, their engines rumbling. Nia strokes Missy, her badge glinting faintly. The fight isn't over, Daniel's vendetta and the system's weight remain, but a twist emerges. The teen's video catches a news anchor's eye, promising wider exposure. Nia's truth is breaking through, a small but undeniable victory. The Chicago alley hums with tension as Tate's convoy departs, their engines fading into the night. Nia clutches her badge, its weight grounding her, Missy's warmth steadying her frail frame. The teen's viral video, now on local news, exposes Daniel's lies. Reed, cornered by Tate's authority, cracks under pressure. In a recorded statement, he confesses Daniel's vendetta against Nia, driven by resentment of her honors and his own stalled career. He wanted her silenced. Reed admits voice low, exposing Daniel's manipulation of the body cam footage. The precinct suspends Daniels, his badge stripped, his sneer replaced by disgrace. The crowd veterans, Rosa, the braided hair teen, watches the news on a bodega TV, their murmurs turning to cheers. Nia's story spreads, her pilot photo shared across X with Justice for Viper. The silent other veterans neglected by the VA begin to speak their stories, echoing Nia's. A news anchor, moved by the teen's footage, demands VA reform. The system's cracks are exposed, underfunded clinics ignored, claims heroes discarded. Public outrage grows, petitions circulating for accountability. Nia stands in the alley, her cough worsening, but her eyes burn with Viper's fire. Rosa's live stream captures her, pinning the badge to her coat, the defaced photo beside it. "I flew for truth," Nia says, voice hoarse but unwavering. The video surges, millions viewing, some still skeptical but drowned by support. A VA official promises an investigation, a step toward justice surfacing. The alley, once a cage, now a beacon, draws supporters, leaving candles and letters. The symbolic act comes when the teen, inspired by Nia, uploads unedited precinct footage leaked by Reed showing Daniels mocking Nia's service. The clip, irrefutable, seals his downfall. Nia watches on Rosa's phone, Missy at her side, as the crowd chants, "Viper." The system hasn't fully bent, but the truth is undeniable, carried by a community's voice. The Chicago alley glows under a rare morning sun, its damp bricks reflecting light. Nia stands, her badge pinned, proudly, Missy at her side. Daniel's suspension holds his vendetta, exposed by Reed's confession and the teen's footage. The VA, pressured by public outcry, fast-tracks Nia's medical care, offering a clinic visit and temporary housing. News outlets retract the fake hero label, airing apologies alongside Viper's story. The braided hair teen visits, leaving a handwritten note. "You're my hero?" Yet victory is bittersweet. Nia's health crumbles, her cough now. Pneumonia, her body weakened by years on the streets. The VA's aid, though, welcome, can't erase decades of neglect or her PTSD's lingering flames. The neighborhood shifts. Some locals nod respectfully, but others, swayed by the tabloid's lies, still whisper fraud. Rosa offers coffee, but Nia feels the weight of eyes, pity, not trust. Her pilot photo, cleaned of its liar stain, leans against the alley wall, a quiet defiance. Missy's loyalty anchors her, but the alley remains her home. She declines housing, fearing it will cage her spirit. Justice has come, but at a cost, her reputation scarred. Her body frail, her solitude deepened. The system bent but didn't break its promises, fragile against her losses. Nia reflects, stroking Missy. "We won, girl," she murmurs, but her voice carries grief for the years stolen, the battles fought alone. Tate's support and the public's hashtags lifted her, but justice is never clean. It's a cracked mirror reflecting truth, but sharp with edges. She could rally again, fuel the growing petitions for VA reform, or speak on air. But the spotlight burns. Nia chooses peace, staying in the alley, her badge and photo her armor. Vipers fought enough, she tells Missy, her eyes on the horizon, seeking the sky she once ruled. The Chicago alley transforms into a symbol of resilience. Nia's stand sparks a movement. Veterans' petitions for VA reform gain thousands of signatures, demanding better health care and accountability. A local news station launches a series on neglected heroes, Nia's story at its heart, prompting city officials to fund a veterans' shelter. The tabloid issues a formal retraction its editor shamed on X. Rosa organizes a mural on the alley wall depicting Nia as viper wings, soaring badge gleaming. Passers-by leave flowers and notes the alley now a pilgrimage site. Nia, her health fragile, declines a medal ceremony, choosing the alley over applause. The VA's care helps, but pneumonia lingers her cough, a reminder of years lost. The braided hair teen returns, lighting a candle with a shy, "Thank you." Nia smiles, pinning her pilot photo higher, its frame worn but proud. She walks with Missy, strangers nodding in respect, some veterans joining her, sharing stories of their own. The alley hums with purpose, a beacon for the forgotten. Social media amplifies the change. Justice for Viper inspires fundraisers for homeless veterans, and a senator cites Nia's case in a reform bill. Yet Nia stays grounded, sweeping the alley's edges, her badge catching the sun. She places a flower by the mural, a quiet tribute to her fight. The community walks with her, their steps a chorus of change, the alley no longer just hers, but theirs. Nia Coleman's stand in a Chicago alley echoes beyond its bricks, a testament to courage over silence. Her fight as Viper against Daniels, a broken system, and a city's scorn ignites a legacy for the forgotten. Veterans find voice shelters rise, and VA reform gains ground, all sparked by one woman's defiance. Her badge pinned proudly, and her pilot photo weathered but unbowed, stand as symbols of integrity. When truth is buried, will you unearth it? Nia's story asks you to fight for the silence, to hold power accountable, to honor heroes cast aside. Her words linger, a hero's made in the dirt, not the sky. This is her charge to you: carry the fire of justice, lift the overlooked, and challenge systems that fail. Nia chose the alley's quiet over fame, but her impact roars. Share her story on X, let Justice for Viper trend amplify the voiceless. Every like, comment, and share builds her legacy, ensuring no hero fades in shadows. Subscribe to keep her fight alive. Join petitions for reform and ask, what will you do with Nia's truth? In the alley, Nia sweeps the ground, Missy at her side, her badge catching dawn's light. The mural of Viper watches over, a reminder that one spark can light a movement. Her legacy is yours to carry, act with courage, fight with heart, and never let the truth stay buried.